Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope this live find everyone in good spirits, um, good health. I know there's some people that didn't make it to today. So for the ones who did, give thanks to the Lord for that. Y'all know how things are. You know how this world is today. Stuff is, really changing today, in the world. But I just wanted to start off by saying good morning to you all. I pray that everyone is still sharing the flyers of missing 3-year-old Camille Cupcake McKinney. I pray that you all are sharing the flyers, still getting the information out. As of yet, she has not been found. As of yet, she has not been located as of yet. So, and we're in the 10th day now. So, like I said, I pray that you all are still sharing the flyers, getting the information out, just getting it out to everyone. She has not been found as of yet. We're up on the 9th day of her disappearance. Still no more leads. They have exhausted all leads. Still no more. Oh my God. No, they didn't turn up any leads or anything during the grid search on Sunday. So, like I said, please just continue to share her flyers. Continue to share her flyers. I hope that this situation with the disappearance of this 3-year-old child, I hope it, opens up a lot of you all minds to being more protective of your children. Okay? Being more concerned for their safety. We cannot continue to let these children raise themselves. We cannot continue as parents to just allow these children to just, run astray. These kids, especially little children, they need to be supervised at all times by adults, not children their age, not children a little, older than them. They need to be supervised by adults. Children 3 years old should never be left unsupervised, especially at 8:30 at night outside. I will always stress that I feel that baby should have been, in the bed. It's no way in the world that she should have been out at 8:30 at night, where she can be snatched up and people are looking for her right now, So I want you all to, like I said, start being more concerned for these children. Start taking better care of these children. Start, giving them a little bit more supervision. Halloween is quickly approaching. Please do not let your children be out here in the streets, by themselves trick-or-treating. It's not safe. It's not going to be safe. Gun violence is on an all-time high. Okay, we have like a horrible number of gun violence is on an all-time high. So I need for y'all to really protect these kids. Do not allow children, to be out here trick-or-treating alone. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Do not allow these children to be out here trick-or-treating alone. Good morning, Miss Linda. Do not, do not let them be out here trick-or-treating alone, because there's some bad things going on out here. It's going to be some bad elements out in the street waiting for the chance to harm one of these children, okay? Missing persons is on an all-time high. It is happening every day. It is happening a lot more frequent. We have a high number of missing, okay, in every aspect, okay? So I really want y'all to really pay attention to these kids. Stop letting them walk around with targets on their back, because that's exactly what you do when you allow these kids out here in the streets with no parental guidance, no supervision. That's exactly what you allow these children to do. You letting them be out here. They got targets on their back. Okay? So please, y'all, pay attention to these kids. Like I said, we have coming up on the 10th day that baby Cupcake, because that's what I'm going to call it. That's what she is. She's a baby. That this baby has been missing 10 days. 10 days. And I'm just praying to God that some type of miracle happen where this baby is found alive. I really am. I can't really get her off my mind. I look down my timeline and everything, and I'm used to, posting these missing person flyers. I've been trying to get them out there the best way I can. But I just can't take my mind off of this little baby and everything that she might be going through right now. I pray that someone, is some type of, somebody's mad, you know what I'm saying, at the mom or dad, and they just have her and they just trying to teach them a lesson or something. I'm serious. I pray that no harm has came to this little baby. I really do. I pray no harm has came to this little baby. Like that's all I can think about right now. She's just 3 years old. Could you imagine what she could be going through right now? It's just a scary thing. Like, I'm actually scared to death. I really am. That's all I keep thinking about is what is she going through right now? Did somebody do something to harm her? That's why we can't find her. Or do somebody got her and, they just mad at somebody in the family or something and she's not in harm, Maybe another relative has her or, something. I just got all kinds of things running through my head. But I really don't want to think that no harm has came to this baby. Even though it's been some horrible things going on with these missing babies. They had just found the body of a 2-year-old. I think she was 2-year-old. The little girl that was kidnapped by the Uber driver, and they was talking about it was she was sold to somebody, and then they found her body. Like those type of things. Like, I can't help but to think of them type of things. And here this baby has not been found yet. Birmingham, Alabama is not but so big. Let me see. Yesterday, I was doing my dishes and heard a toy, and I looked out, and it was a 5-year-old little girl. I dropped everything and ran down the stairs, and no adults were outside. I sat outside with her. See, that's what I'm saying. 5 years old, just out there. That's why I say sometimes we have to, take care of other people's children and make sure other people's children are, not in any types of harms, because people don't do it. They don't. They just let these kids just go outside, just run free. Like, it's almost as if nobody watches the news, or nobody, they on Facebook. It's millions and billions of people on Facebook, and they just not watching, these missing children. They ain't reading these flyers. They not seeing, the travesties that these families go through, when it comes to these having a missing loved one. They must not be experiencing that at all. They must not be. People can't really get into these stories, because if they did, they would be terrified. They would be terrified. I don't even think a 10-year-old should be walking around alone. That's the truth, Shell. That is the truth, Shell. A 10-year-old shouldn't be walking around alone. No children, for real. It's not even safe for teenagers to walk around here alone, let alone a 10-year-old. It's just not safe. And nobody seems, to really get that. It is just not safe. It's not. We can trust, you know what I'm saying? We can think, and then these kids, you can put as much, you can educate them and teach them as much prevention as you want. But kids are going to be kids. They're going to be kids. I see stuff every day, every single day. Sometimes when I'm walking out here, going to the store, whatever, and the kids are coming home from school, they all over the place. They're not even paying attention to what they even supposed to be doing. The stuff that we tell them to do every day. They don't even pay attention. And like I said, sometimes these parents trust too much. They put too much trust into these kids, into little kids, and think that they know everything and that they're going to comprehend some of the things that they're saying. I don't give a damn how much communication you give a person. Communication is not nothing without comprehension. So if these kids can't comprehend different things that you're telling them, then what you think gonna happen? It terrifies me to death. For real. And I just will not I can't even understand for the life of me. Why would you have a 3-year-old outside at 8:30 at night with a 10-year-old watching them? It was other kids, and why did they just pick this baby? It was other kids out there. It was a children's birthday party. Why did they pick this baby of all of the kids that was out there? That is another question that I ask. I walked my kids to school until they was 12. That's right. That's right, Linda. Because I did the same thing. And even when they thought they was grown and they thought that they can walk by themselves, I still left out the house right behind them, hid behind trees and every goddamn thing else, just so I could know in my head, in my heart, that they made it to school safe. That's just what I did. I did it to my nieces and them. I did it to my own kids. They would tell you. It's no way in the world, even, when they got old enough. It's no way in the world that I felt comfortable, you know what I'm saying, with walking these kids, not walking my children to school, or not, being able to, because it's not safe. It's not. And today, we live in a world where it's really not safe. It's not. It's no other way of looking at it. You know what I'm saying? These missing persons are happening more frequently. They're happening every day. For God's sakes, every 40 seconds, a child goes missing and there's a missing report filed. And then you think about the ones where these kids be missing for days and the parents don't even file. I don't know why, that we have in our heads that you still have to wait 24 hours to file a missing persons report. I don't know why we have that in our heads. People are still throwing up that same excuse. I went down to educate Baltimore County Police Department, as well as my own Prince George's County, to talk with them, on the dynamics of missing persons, the things that I'm seeing now that they might not be paying attention to, a lot of I know our law enforcement agency, when it comes to missing persons, we don't have no big old fancy building for them and everything, but we are in a situation where, we have investigators, we have people, our missing person list, thank God, is not like a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Right now in the state of Maryland, we have 190 open missing persons cases, and that's in the whole state of Maryland. And when you're talking about the state of Maryland in the whole, it is a very big state, because Maryland has different counties. You know what I'm saying? We have Montgomery County, we have Prince George's County, and we have Anne Arundel. We have a lot of different counties in Maryland. And the thing about our law enforcement is, I live in Prince George's County. Prince George's County in the whole, far as its law enforcement, it has 1,700 police officers on the street. Okay? That's a big number in a whole. And I'm going to explain something to you why I say that. Because we have municipalities here in Prince George's County. So not only do we have 1,700 officers on the street daily in Prince George's County, but we also have municipalities that have their own police precincts, their own police law enforcement agencies. Like Greenbelt has its own police agency, Capitol Heights, Sea Pleasant, you know what I'm saying? Every municipality in Maryland, in Prince George's County, has its own, law enforcement agency. So we have those law enforcement in each part of, Maryland, in each municipality, and we also have 1,700 Prince George's County police officers on the street every single day. Okay? So, and we take these missing person cases very seriously, because we're out here, most of the times they use their resources, because we do have a lot of resources out here in Prince George's County when it comes to missing persons. We have search and rescue. We have dedicated citizens, that's out here, that's helping look for these kids. A lot of times when children go missing, I get a direct, email from the captain of Bureau of Investigations for Missing Persons. Captain Hampson, Patrick Hampson. So I get these emails, with missing person flyers and everything from the different municipalities, also in Prince George's County. So that I can be able to get this information circulated and out here on the streets, because that's how important it is, to spread information with these cases. Because like I said, a lot of times, if we're the only ones sharing this information, a lot of times these cases don't make the local news. And sometimes that's all they make is the local news. You know what I'm saying? It's dedicated people that get the information out, like, we did with Cupcake, like we do with Relisha. That's why everybody all over the world knows about Relisha Rudd right now. It's not because, because when she first went missing, they didn't have all of this stuff going on. Everybody didn't know what was going on. I had started working with Relisha's case and Antonio, and that family. I was on Focus Radio. I was the manager and also co-host of Focus Radio before I started my own radio show, Black Rose's Garden. So, Miss Valencia Harris, the mother of Unique Harris, she was the first person that I interviewed. And I remember telling her, by the end of the year, you're going to have closure to your daughter. They're going to find out, what happened, at least, and they do have someone arrested, on behalf of Unique's disappearance, but they still have not found her yet. you know. So then my second, case was religion. I'm not the type of person that, get all of this information, from social media and, YouTube and all of that type of stuff. I don't do that. I like to get the information straight from the families. That's why I interview a lot of these families. That's why I open up my platform. I opened up the platform of Focus Radio as well as Black Roses Garden to the families of the missing and murdered to come on and tell their stories. Focus Radio, we had a listening audience of 2.2 million listeners all over the world. We didn't just have them here in this demographic in the DMV area. We had them all over the world. I have people now listening to me, Black Roses Garden as well, from places like London, from Iran, all different types of places all over this world. Jamaica, all over this world that listens to Black Roses Garden as well as Focus Radio, because we have always, been into educating people on the missing and bringing these cases to life. When I first got, the pleasure of start Focus Radio, because Focusville, he had Focus Radio. He had the logo and the trademark. He had been doing radio for a while, and he wanted to revamp Focus Radio. So he asked me for my idea, and I told him, there's a lot of missing children. There's a lot of missing people that they need to have some attention. So that's what we did. We started Focus Radio with, helping the families of the missing and murdered, interviewing these families. Okay. I've also interviewed the family of a kid Eggleston. I do, different, events, when I can make it out there. I share her flyer a lot. I've interviewed the family of Terrence Woods. I interviewed Terrence Woods Jr.'s father. Worked with him. A lot of these families, they come to Focus Radio, they come to Black Roses Garden, and a lot of, media pick them up, because that's how we share these stories. We share them around. I reach out to everybody when it comes to these missing person cases. I do. I reach out to everybody. We was having some issues with Relisha Rudd's case, because I was very convinced. It was like when I first started advocating for Relisha Rudd and all of the information that was out there, I just it didn't sit well with me. And like I said, everybody and their mama had something to say about that case, and I just couldn't get with some of the stories, what I'm saying, that was surrounding that case. I wanted complete, accurate information as much as I could get. So that's why I started advocating. I started working with Antonio Willard, the stepfather of Relisha Rudd. I interviewed the grandmother of Relisha Rudd, Miss Melissa Young. I've interviewed the aunt of Relisha Rudd. I set up Tiffany Young. I've also set up interviews with Shamika Young, the mother of Relisha Rudd. The first interview, when I got her mom into the studio to interview her mom and to interview her Relisha Rudd stepdaddy, I even offered to pay her. But I guess she understood that if she sat across the table from me, I was going to break her ass. That was my whole plan. I was going to break her ass down, because I look in that woman's face and I can tell that she's not telling the truth. When a person totally separates themselves from their child's case, from their child's being missing. This was her little girl. This was her only daughter. And she has, if anybody go on her page or anything like that, you will see that she has totally separated herself from that whole situation. She has even gone as far as, just, going as far as saying that the man that was actually the last person that had religion, she even went as far as saying on national TV that that man had nothing to do with religious disappearance. Totally separated herself from that. And I believe in my heart of hearts, they all know what happened to that baby. But because these laws are so fucked up, we don't have none really put into place. Like that baby, when we talk about Relisha Rudd and we talk about that whole case, the things that I have learned, just by, I've talked to security officers that work there at the during the time that Relisha went missing. I listened to the stories. I've talked to caseworkers, people that actually work there in that facility, and they had all kinds of stories to tell me about the fact that, what they saw, but yet nobody did anything. So when I say that that child had been failed from the beginning of her damn existence, that's exactly what I meant, because everybody around Relisha failed her. Everybody, even those people that work there at that DC General Homeless Shelter. I see why the mayor probably want to knock that motherfucker down, because it's a horrible reminder on the whole city. That's exactly where that child went missing at. She had no business being missing. She has no business being missing right now for 5 years, and people just think that it's all over with. It's nothing else to do because Khalil Tatum then killed himself and he killed his wife. Because there's a lot of things. It's still people involved. The person that took that god awful letter, that lied, had forged the letter, excusing Relisha from school for over 30 days. That was supposed to have been signed by Dr. Tatum, which come to find out this man was the damn janitor that worked at the homeless shelter. He started off working in the kitchen. It's like, to know that he worked in the kitchen at first, and to know that he actually worked in that kitchen right across the hallway from where Relisha laid her head at. It just lets you know that this man stalked this baby. He stalked this baby. That's what he did. He stalked her. He sat up there. He preyed on the family. He knew what vulnerable situation they was in. He knew that they was homeless. That baby didn't have really too much of nothing. You know what I'm saying? And he took advantage of that. He bought her iPads and all kinds of God-forsaken things. He took advantage of that little baby. We all seen that horrible video of him walking that baby, down that hallway of that Holiday Inn Express. See, a lot of y'all don't know the story behind that infamous video of saying that. See, he was supposed to have been taking that baby swimming. Had bought all kinds of little swimsuits for that baby and everything. And that damn facility, that Holiday Inn Express, didn't even have a goddamn pool. Okay? And I'm pretty sure he knew that before he booked that room there. And he took that 8-year-old baby there to that room with a whole bag of swimsuits and shit like that. It's no telling what he did to that child in that room. But whatever the hell he did to it, he couldn't live with himself. He couldn't live with himself. Whatever he did to that baby, he could not live with himself. He couldn't. And that's why he blew his own motherfucking brains out, and he killed his wife, because he knew that she knew what the hell was going on. He knew that she knew that he was molesting that baby, that he was doing nasty, disgusting, trifling things to that child. She knew that. She might as well put a bullet in her own motherfucking head for knowing things like that and not going to get that baby help. See, everybody failed that baby. Everybody failed Relisha. Every fucking body that was in her life that was supposed to be a positive influence on that child's life. All of you all failed her. Okay? 2007. CPS came to her house, found the bad situation. Didn't do a goddamn thing. Here we go. 2010, they come back again. Even a fucked up work situation. They do nothing. 2013, she's in a homeless shelter at DC General. March the 1st, months later, after having a situation there in that homeless shelter where nobody did shit, caseworkers, police, social workers, every motherfucking body there, security guards, everybody that was supposed to help with the situation, failed her into every fucking last one of you people that worked there at that DC General homeless shelter during the time that that baby went missing. All of you motherfuckers failed her. All of you all failed her. Okay? You failed her miserably. And I would be ashamed of myself. And there's no fucking way in the world that I would be able to come back after this child has been missing and tell the stories that some of you all had to tell. What you saw. Y'all saw a lot of shit. And nobody said nothing. That's why I say, where do we get off turning our fucking heads to everything, especially when things happen to children? These are people that are in situations that have jobs that was supposed to help that baby, and they didn't do anything to help her. And now here we have 5 years later, this baby is missing, still missing. No one has been locked up. They just say fuck it, because this man blew his brains out, blew his white brains out. Fuck it. You know, it's nobody else responsible. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of people responsible for her disappearance. And there are people walking the street right now who should be locked up, arrested, in jail. Right now. Yes, I said it. Because it should. Starting with the motherfucker who took that letter to that school with forged signature of Khalil Tatum pretending to be Melissa's doctor. Whoever took that motherfucking letter to that school, their black asses need to be locked up. Starting with them. And if her mother okayed that letter, knowing that it was under false pretenses, because Khalil Tatum wasn't a doctor, he was a fucking janitor at DC General Homeless Shelter. He wasn't a doctor. He signed that excuse, that school excuse off as a doctor's excuse, saying that he was a doctor. He was a religious doctor, and he had excused her from being at school all of those damn days. She was gone from school over 30 days. Unexcused. So everybody, like I said, starting with that motherfucker who took that letter up to that school, knowing that it was under false pretenses, knowing that Khalil Tatum was not a religious doctor, knowing that that whole letter was a damn lie, they should have started with them with locking them up. Those should have been the first people that they locked up, the first person they locked up. And then it should have been a tailspin of everybody else. The person who approved that, her mother approved that letter. Working on making amends with Emily. Because she called and she confirmed the letter. So her black ass should have been locked up too. Yes, I said it. Yes, I'm going to say it because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. This baby is gone. 5 years. Forgot about who he was. And I have people still today. I passed out flyers yesterday. I had her flyer in one of them. She was one of the flyers that I passed out yesterday. I still have people walking up to me. Oh, I thought they found her. Oh, I thought, this, that, and the third. Well, she might be in sex trafficking with all these different damn, conspiracies on whatever, on what they think happened to Relisha Rudd. But the people make me sick to the stomach when they feel like, they come up to me and say, I thought they found her. Gambled with them and lost 5 years of... See, we soon forget too. That's another thing. We forget a lot of shit. Once that was a travesty. That's something that I would never ever forget. A lot of these missing person cases, I would never ever forget. When I read into the stories of them, you know what I'm saying? And I have the pleasure of talking to some of these families because, like I said, that's how I like to get my information. God forgive y'all. I know a lot of you all don't like it, that I don't take your word for a lot of shit that I see on social media, but I like to hear it straight from the family. That's the only way that I believe any of the situations. And a lot of these families really don't do, you know, they don't do the interviews and things of that nature. A lot of these families that I have interviewed, like Terrence Woods, a lot of families, it was their first interview ever. First interview ever. The whole plan is so that is to do that. Like I said, it's just not an interview for me. I try to get these people as much help as I can. I reach out to different places, to different news media, you know, all over the place. Oxygen Network. I reach out to everybody to bring light to these stories. Because a lot of times, like I said, they don't even know about these stories. When I called Steve Wilkos, you know, because I'm the reason why Antonio, Melissa, as well as Shamika was on Steve Wilkos. Little do y'all know, a lot of y'all might know, a lot of y'all might not know. But I'm responsible for that. I'm the reason why Antonio, Melissa, and Shamika was on Steve Wilkos' show. When I called Steve Wilkos, well, before I called Steve Wilkos, I asked Antonio, you know, was he willing to go on there, because they had put so much bad shit on his name. They put so much bad stuff on that boy's name till it was pathetic. And my job was to bring fresh eyes to Relicious investigation. Not all of the bullshit that you hear out here from the other advocates and, you know, all of the things. And then I seen some things from some of these advocates that I didn't like. Just the way that they were doing things, the illegal searches, all kinds of shit, you know, all kinds of stuff. Like I have, during that child's disappearance, y'all, I met some really screwed up people that were doing some screwed up things. And whether they want to admit it or not, it's because of the way that they was doing shit is the reason why, too, we haven't found Relicia yet. It's the reason why we haven't found her yet. That's why I say, you know, a lot of people that get involved with these situations and everything, you know, that call yourself want to be investigated, you know everything, you doing shit behind the police's back, you know, all kinds of shit. Y'all, a lot of y'all fuck these cases up. Y'all mess them up. Y'all are the reasons why they go cold so quick. A lot of the fucked up ways that y'all was doing stuff with this baby's case, with Relicia case, is the reason why we haven't found her yet. And I seen it. So my whole purpose, like I said, when I called Steve Wilkos to get Antonio and them on there, they didn't even know nothing about Relicious case. How horrible. They knew nothing about Relicious case. When I sat on there and when I'm talking to the executive producer of the Steve Wilkos show, when we were setting up the whole thing, he's on the phone with me. We're on the phone and he's typing up and he's getting information on the computers as we was talking. He was digging up her story and reading into her story. He didn't have no clue about what happened to Relicia Rudd, that she had been missing up to this made 5 years that baby had been missing. They didn't know nothing about it. I worked hand in hand with them with the questioning. I got them, brought them up the part on that story. So that, and I knew, and my whole purpose for doing that was having them all come on there, because I knew Shamika Young was not going to take no lie detector test. And I wanted to prove that to the police. That's the only reason why, and I'm saying, yes, I said it. That's the only fucking reason why I got her on there. I knew she was going to go for the little free trinkets and gifts and the gift cards and, you know, the free little clothes and that ugly ass wig she had on in that outfit and all of that stuff. I knew she was going to go for that. But I knew, and I wanted to prove to the police that she was not going to take that lie detector test. I knew that. I knew, and I wanted to put her on blast in front of everybody that watches the 2.2 or 3 million or whoever watch Steve Wilkos. I wanted them to see as well. I knew that child was not, I knew she wasn't going to take the lie detector test. That was the whole purpose. Like I said, there's no reason why this baby should be missing still after 5 years. It's no way. And like I said, people should be arrested. They should be arrested right now. Like I said, the person that took that god awful lie letter down there to the school, excusing religion from school for 30 whole days, that person should be locked up. That person should have been locked up. There's no way in the world that that person should be walking the street right now. They should be locked up. Her mother approving, saying that that letter was legit. She should have been locked up. It didn't just stop with Khalil Tatum, y'all. It didn't just stop with his wife. He couldn't kill them all. If he probably could have killed the mother and the grandmother and everybody else, he probably would have blew their goddamn brains out too. And here, you know, like I said, we had 5 years. It takes 7 years for, you know, it by law for them to say, okay, well, this person is most likely dead than alive. Okay? But malicious cases in homicide right now, not only is it, you know, classified as a missing person case, it's also in a homicide. I call as much as I can, at least once or twice a month, to check on to see if any more leads. If I get leads, you know what I'm saying, send them to the police, because that's how important it is.
However, Denise's sister Diane says she warned him not to take the lie.
So it's just a lot of things going on. Families, y'all do a lot too much sometimes. Just like with this baby, this 3-year-old baby being missing right now from Birmingham, Alabama. The fact that the family got on live talking about, you know, it was ransom money involved, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know if the hell y'all even told the police this stuff. But you on Facebook, you telling everybody on Facebook, putting this baby in further danger. Here we are, 10 days up, still haven't found this little baby yet. No, they have exhausted every lead. They just did a 2-mile search on Sunday. Didn't turn up anything. But there was nothing. And
after all her parents had been through in almost 2 decades,
it's like it's nothing being really done. And it's people involved in that too. You know what I'm saying? It's people that actually set up and I know watch that baby being snatched and ain't opening their goddamn mouth and say a goddamn thing. Just like it's people that know what happened to Relicia that's not saying the goddamn thing. And I know it's a lot of times, you know, with law enforcement, you know, it's hard, you know, to get these people locked up, because especially when you don't have, you know, evidence. You know, most of the time the police know exactly what's going on. They know. But without having the evidence, what can they do? Without some of you all that see this shit happen, it could just be the smallest little thing. It could just be the smallest little thing. You never know how much that small little thing, just a sighting of something, just seeing something. You know, just seeing something, you know, that was just out of the ordinary. Any of that can break a case. Any of that. That man didn't just do what he did to Relicia and nobody saw it. For real. It didn't happen like that. Them people didn't just run off with that 3-year-old baby with no goddamn shoes on and nobody saw nothing. And y'all, it's ways that y'all can say things that you don't even have to, you know, leave your name. You don't have to leave anything about yourself, your identity at all. You can just call and get tip lines. It's all kinds of shit. Ways that you can, you know, give information to these cases. Right now in D.C., we have 50 open missing person cases. I just looked at it this morning. Most of them are underage girls who have been on that list for quite a while now. I know longer than 2-3 weeks, because I've been sharing their flyers ever since they got on the list. And I go back there, today, early this morning, and see that a lot of them are still on there, and more have been added.
But for all the speculation and Prince
Like I said, there are many levels to missing persons, too. There are many levels to missing persons.
She might well simply have left.
Many different situations, many reasons on why people go missing. And most missing person cases turn quickly into homicides. And that's a fact.
New England coast. That's precisely what Wendy's family believes.
So please, like I said, it is very important to share these flyers. Get this information out here. Share, share, share. Your share could be the only share that family got for their missing loved one.
Karen Twist is Wendy's older sister.
Keep your eyes open.
That's what the family believes.
Be alert
That's what Wendy did
to what's going on around you. Not only, like I said, sometimes you not only have to raise your own children, sometimes you have to help with the raising of other children. None of us that call ourselves human beings should see a child going through something and not want to help. Even if it's not, a lot of us are not financially, able to help, but even if it's just with a kind word, or just telling that young person, hey, I'm here for you, I love you, I'm here for you. That's a lot of them, that's all they want to hear. What's going on with these children out here, the behavior, the things that you're seeing going on out here, it's not these kids' fault. All of this stuff starts at home, y'all. We as parents, we are like, it's just like when our children's immune systems are getting built up.
Wendy had displayed symptoms
Right?
of those of a bipolar condition.
That's what we're doing when we're parenting these kids. We're building their lives up. We're teaching them things. We're installing things into them that's supposed to help get them throughout life. So we have to be parents to these kids. We cannot just let them fall astray. And like I said, sometimes you have to be parents to other people's children. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you just have to, come inside your heart, come outside of yourself, come outside of your little box. You know what I'm saying? And love on somebody else's children. Love your children and love somebody else's children. Pull one of these babies up. Ask them, is they okay?
Denise was a minor from Northern Ontario.
I see them all the time. I don't have no problem with it. I walk up to kids all the time in groups sometimes. Young little boys with the goddamn pants hanging off their ass, all kinds of stuff. They do not intimidate me. Those are my children as well. Your children are my children. When I go down here, like I said, when I go hand deliver letters to all 100 senators, which me and Miss Angela will be doing that again next week. When I go deliver these letters, it's a concern of all of us. It's in concern of all of us. It really is. Because what affects, just because it's not happening, it might not be per se happening in my neck of the woods, it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect me, because it does. It does. When I see the pain and the murder and everything that goes on, in Detroit, that affects me. When I'm going to hand deliver that letter to them senators, Detroit senators is included. When I see the devastation that goes on in Chicago, that bothers me. And I'm hand delivering letters to Chicago's senators as well. I'm hand delivering letters to all of you all senators, not just my senators. I live in the state of Maryland. But don't just stop there. And I suggest you all be more proactive. 2020 is quickly approaching. Okay? If y'all don't want to go through the same things that y'all are seeing take place, because like I said, since this president has been in the White House, Gun violence is on an all-time high. Gun violence became very, very, like, really screwed up back in 2017. Gun violence has a $229 billion price tag on it. And it's been that way ever since 2017. Ever since 2017, gun violence has had the most fatalities than car accidents. And y'all know car accidents used to be the leading cause of death. Now it's gun violence, and it's been that way, like I said, ever since 2017. Take part. I know it's a lot of things. Like I said, Halloween is quickly approaching, and a lot of our communities, DC, they do a very good job doing Halloween. I took my grandchildren over there to the District of Columbia for Halloween. They had a lot of nice things going on for the kids over there. So try to have your kids in some of these, indoor church situations. Like the churches, they give a lot of different Halloween parties, candies for the kids, all things like that. Try to be more involved in those type of things. Please do not let your children just roam around underage outside at Halloween trick-or-treating looking for candy. Please supervise them. Please be out here. It's dangerous out here. A bullet does not have no name.
New England should have been surrounded by music, theater, and art. She was, of course,
Okay.
a child of the 60s.
Please keep in mind of all of the things that's going on around you. Pay attention to these flyers. Read into not just share the flyers. Read some of these stories. Read some of these stories. Read into some of these stories. Good morning. Read into some of these stories. See the devastations from these families and the things that they suffer. They suffer. We have families who have missing loved ones who have been missing 43 years. I'm working with a family out of Texas. Her mom has been missing for 43 years now. September the 1st, Labor Day, made 43 years of the disappearance of Miss Pinky Mae Hearn. Missing from Dale Valley, Texas. She was 19 years old when she went missing. Still has not been found yet after 43 years. Okay? So look into these stories, you all. Read them. Pay more attention to your kids. Stop letting them be out here unsupervised. It's not safe to just drop these kids off at the movies any goddamn more, and then come back a couple of hours and expect for your child to be in one piece. That's not, it used to be like that. I remember, allowing my kids to go to the movies, and then going back a couple of hours later picking them up. Not no goddamn more. I would never allow my grandchildren to go out to the movies or be dropped off, even if they was old enough. With the way things are going today, the stuff that I see today, these stories, like I said, I read into these stories. I hear the pain in these families, in their voices when they telling these stories. I talk to some of these mothers who can't sleep at night from the missing and the murdered community. That's having a hard time. It's a hard pill to swallow when you lose a child. It's even a harder pill to swallow when you have a child out here missing and you don't even know where the hell they at. You don't have no closure. You don't know where they at. You're always going to constantly think about this child. Think about, what is going on. Did somebody hurt this child? They're feeling their pain, everything that they're going through. So please, share these stories. Share them. It is very important. Spread this information of these missing persons. Love on these children. Not like I said, not only your child, you love on somebody else's child. If you see somebody else's child going through something, pull them up. Do something, whatever you can to help them. It's very important, y'all. This Saturday on Black Rose's Garden, I will have the family of Kendrick Johnson. for an exclusive interview.
Alan Miller.
And you all know the story of Kendrick Johnson. Back in Georgia, I think it was Georgia, he was murdered. He was an athlete, 17 years old, murdered at school, and then his body was stuffed inside of a rolled up gym mat. So I would have his family, his mom is going to tell his story. She's going to tell the real story of Kendrick Johnson on Black Rose's Garden. And I want you all to tune in. You know, like I said, these are times where, you know, this tune in, because you're going to get the direct information, the accurate information from the families. That's how I bring it to you. That's how I bring it to you, straight from the families. We don't talk about what we hear on Instagram and what we hear here and there. I like to get to the families. I like to have them on, and I like to get the story straight from them. So tune in this Saturday. Show kicks off at 4 p.m. from 4 to 6 p.m. And we will have the family of Kendrick Johnson, who still, by the way, has not received justice. Okay? And I'm going to let the family tell you the story. Okay? Happy Tuesday again. Have a great day. Love on them children, y'all. Pay more attention to them kids and their well-being. We are responsible for our children, and sometimes we have to be responsible for other people's kids as well. I love y'all. Stay safe.